Good afternoon and welcome to the on-record portion of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Michael Freeman. Joining me here today is Lieutenant Bucky Miller. Bucky Miller, congratulations on your promotion to captain. Could you please tell us what are some of the biggest challenges you face as lieutenant in a small town like Lexington?
I think the police department in Lexington faces the same challenges that every police department faces right now. It's budget, it's money to have the manpower and do a lot of the things that we want to do. Lexington has a small tax base. We don't have a lot of the big industries that other places have. And there's so much as a police department we want to do, but it costs money. So we try to stay as close as we can within our budget, but there are things that we see as priorities in the future that we need to do that are somewhere down the road going to cost the city money. We want to be a proactive police department. We want to be a community-friendly police department. We want to do a lot in our communities. We want to do a lot with the two schools. And you need manpower and money to do both of those things. So in this economy the way it is, I think you're hearing it all over the United States, is that police departments and other departments have to shrink in their budget, limiting their manpower, cutting back on overtime. All of those things that people just see as, I see these policemen out here. Well, when you do see them, it costs money to do that. So we have a lot of the same concerns as bigger cities.
Well, you mentioned some priorities down the road. Can you go into that a little bit? What kind of priorities is Lexington looking to advance on?
We want Lexington, and not only Lexington, but the police department to be one of the best police departments. I want people, when they come to Lexington, when they leave, if they deal with a policeman here, to say, you know what, that's the kind of policeman I would want in my city. That's the kind of department I would want in my city. I want to see us work closer with the two colleges and with all the citizens in Lexington, because we don't separate. We see everybody as citizens in Lexington. So it's how we bring everybody together to work through some of these issues. There's people on WNL's campus, VMI's campus, that have great ideas. We just need to get those ideas to the forefront and work forward with them. There are people that work for the city that have great ideas. We just need to bring everybody together and take those ideas to the next level.
Well, we had the opportunity to talk to Chief Thomas earlier in the Rockbridge Report. Can you talk about how the department is doing operating under this new chief?
Oh, we're doing fine. We all realized that there were going to be some changes, so we understood that. He brings fresh ideas. He brings some really good ideas. He's not from that far away, Lynchburg. He knows a lot about Lexington. He is community oriented, which is great because that's how we want to be seen, as community oriented. He's willing to work with anybody. It's been my pleasure to work with him, and I hope I work with him for a long time.
When I talked to City Manager John Elstad, he mentioned that he wanted to see the chief get out more in the community. He said he spent a lot of time in his office. Can you comment on that? Does he get out to the community enough, do you think?
Well, I think what people need to realize is, for some reason, people think because Lexington's a small city that there's not a lot of police stuff that needs to be done. And I think most people would be surprised how much work is for not only for him, but for me in the office, which limits our time. We try to get out as much as we can, both of us. But, there are a lot of times where we just have to be in the office to talk to people, to be there when problems come up. So trust me, he will get out. We've got so much going on. He's only been here 6 months. We're going through a restructure. He's trying to get to know us. He's trying to get to know the community. So you will see him more.
Okay, well, Chief Thomas is heading this proposed police reorganization. Can you talk about how that will impact different members of the police department?
Well, if you look at the complete proposal that he put out for City Council, we would go on to 12-hour shifts, and it would actually give the guys more days off. They would work 14 days a month, be off 14 days. So a lot of them like that. 12 hours seems like a long time, but when you're looking to be off for 2 or 3 days, it's not so bad. One effort that we're going to try to make is to make sure that when our guys are off, that they're away from work, that they don't have to come back. Now, we can't always do that. We have a court. People don't realize we have juvenile court, we have general district court, we have circuit court. So an officer could go to court 3 or 4 times in a month. So there are some things that we can control. Also, Lexington has so many special events. That is the one great thing about Lexington as a city, is that if an organization can show a need for an event, we do whatever we can to try to put that event on. That's taxing on our manpower a lot of times. And the 12-hour shift is going to be great, but our guys realize that sometimes, even though they've worked their 2 days or their 3 days, that they're going to have to come back in and do parades and runs, and we do special stuff with VMI. We're willing to do stuff with WNL. So we are very much tied to the community, and we realize that this 12-hour shift hopefully is going to help us, but we also realize there could be some downsides to it.
So with this 12-hour shift, police officers are getting tired by the end of the day. Can you kind of walk us through the last 4 hours? You guys have been working on fatigue management. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
What we're hoping to see is that the police officers that are working the 12-hour shifts will keep themselves busy. There is a lot that you can do in this town. We're not always ripping and running to calls. You're going to see policemen on the street more. You're going to see policemen doing bike patrol, downtown walking patrols, things with the schools. There's so much that we're going to be able to do. Are they going to get tired or bored at the end of the shift? Yes, but hopefully they will be self-motivators and find things to do themselves to help them make it through the 12 hours. And we have looked at the fatigue factor. We are worried about that. We've got some built-in things to help with that. But, they're going to have to motivate themselves and be motivated for that whole time.
Okay. Well, in past Rockbridge reports, we've covered stories on gang activity in Rockbridge County. Do you worry that gangs are going to infiltrate Lexington and cause problems?
I think every community worries about gangs coming into their towns. But I will say this, us fighting gangs is going to be a community effort. It's not going to be just a police department effort. It's going to take everybody. It's just like drugs, break-ins, and everything else that goes into being a community. We are going to have to work together as a community, and that's everybody, to stop gangs and drugs and all the other bad things that happen. The police can't do it by themselves. The Lexington Police Department's not going to do it by themselves. Rockbridge Sheriff's Office is not going to do them by themselves. Buena Vista's not going to do it by themselves. It's going to take us as a community, and that's Rockbridge County, Lexington, Buena Vista, working together to ferret out these things and get rid of them.
Okay, you talked about working together. What kind of strategies can parents and community members use to keep kids out of gangs in Rockbridge County?
I think one of the most important things that parents can do is know what their kids are doing, be involved in their kids' life. And that's really hard now because a lot of parents are working 2. Some parents I know are working 3 jobs. But we've got to find a way to get individuals. It's true, it takes a community to raise a kid. That is no more truer today than it's ever been. It's going to take everybody. It's going to take that person that doesn't have a kid to take an interest in a kid whose parents may be financially stressed and working 2 jobs and not have enough time. It takes us as citizens going to Little League games and watching kids play football and basketball and cheering them on, going to school plays. It takes WNL students going into the schools and sharing your experiences with these kids. You're closer to them than a lot of us are. Sharing your experiences with them and letting them know that, you know what, there are people in this community that really care about us and are willing to listen to us and to talk to us and treat us like we're part of the community. I think that is key, that it's going to take all of us to work with kids.
Okay, while we're on the topic of kids, the other day I talked to you about cyberbullying, and you mentioned this is an issue in Rockbridge County. Can you discuss this a little bit?
I think not only in Rockbridge County, but I think cyberbullying goes along everywhere. It's just like bullying. It's just an easier way to bully. You can get on a computer and pick on someone and not look at them face to face. It makes it so much easier. Parents have to talk to their kids, and they have to know what their kids are doing. And parents have to take it serious. If I call a parent and tell them that their child is bullying someone else, whether it be cyberbullying or regular bullying, I expect that parent to take it serious and not look at it as boys being boys or girls being girls. I want parents to really think about what that means. And if you've been watching TV or keeping up with the news at all, you know that bullying is completely out of control, and that it is causing our youth to do things that normally they wouldn't do. Suicide rates with young adults is on an uprise. Part of that is contributed to what is going on in society as far as bullying and other issues.
Okay, so can you describe what parents can do to kind of help with this situation?
I think parents need to be aware. I think parents need to understand that it's okay to check your child's phone. It's okay to look at your child's emails. It's okay to watch your child do whatever they're doing on the computer. If another parent calls you and says, hey, your child is bullying my child, take it serious. Work together as parents to try to get to the bottom of the issues. If someone is being cyberbullied, let us know at the police department. We are prepared to work with people on cyberbullying and have in the past. Cell phones are another big issue. Kids are now getting text and getting bullied by text message. So there's so much. Technology is great. We all love it, but it puts things in a total different realm as far as police work go. You look at a cell phone and you see this great thing to talk with. I look at the cell phone and I see people that can make drug deals with cell phones, people that can bully and pick on people with cell phones and other issues.
Okay, well, do police really have any authority on this issue? Can they step in here? Or?
There are laws on the books, and hopefully they will get more teeth and get better, but it's really hard to address cyberbullying.
Okay, well, Lieutenant Miller, I appreciate you joining us in the studio. Thank you for joining us. I'm Michael Freeman for today's On Record portion of the Rockbridge Report. Thanks for watching.